So hello to everyone who are watching our PowerPoint presentation. We'll be tackling about sex and gender. Let's talk about the basics of gender mainstreaming. Sex and gender, gender identity and sexual orientation, gender roles and expectation, and then gender biases. Let's start with why do we need to know more about sex and gender? Gender and sex are two essentials yet underrated part of human life, for it affects actions, jobs, looks, lives, law, and values of every human being. Let's talk about sex. Sex refers to a set of biological attributes in humans and animals. It is primarily associated with physical and physiological features, including chromosomes, gene expression, hormone levels and function, and reproductive or sexual anatomy. Now, intersex are individuals born with any of several sex characteristics that do not fit typical binary notions of male or female bodies. To add, as a biological term, sex is used most often to refer to the act of mating between two organisms, a part of the process of reproduction. A more technical term for this is called coitus. Now, to differentiate gender, gender refers to the socially constructed roles, behaviors, expressions, and identities of girls, women, boys, men, and gender diverse people. Now, let's talk about different sexual orientations. The different sexual orientations are asexual, bisexual, gay, lesbian, hermaphrodite, pansexual, heterosexual, and homosexual.
So we have the gender roles. It is the role a person is expected to perform. So as a result of being male or female in a particular culture. Socially constructed roles, behaviors, and activities that a given society considers appropriate for men versus women and girls. So it says here is that there is a certain goals for individuals separate for boys and girls. For example, sa boys, you need to be a financial provider, and like for example sa girls naman is you need hindi naman siya sa pagiging housewife, pero mostly sila yung gumagawa ng mga gawaing bahay. Okay, let's move to traditional gender roles. For men, responsible for taking care of the family financially. They felt the need to be strong and refrain from showing too much emotion or sharing many personal feelings, especially with those outside of the family, and they made the final decision. So as a men, so as a family, kayo, ikaw yung final decision. Sa'yo na gagaling lahat ng mga decision na gagawin ninyo ng inyong partner or ng inyong pamilya. And sa man kasi, ang tingin nila sa mga lalaki ay strong at malakas, and tigasin. So, hindi nila, parang kumbaga sa ating mga lalaki, hindi nila tayo nakikitang mahina. So, for women naman, we're expected to be in charge of running the household. They also took care of the children, giving them care and attention that was required. So, just like what I've stated a while ago, women are more on household area lang. So, sila yung mga nag-aalaga sa mga anak nila, sa mga anak nila, pinagluluto ng babae ang mga anak nila ng kanyang asawa. So for the next slide, we have sa reproductive organ ng male, we have testes, penis, or scrotum. So sa female, vagina, ovaries, and uterus, or womb. Then sa may chromosomes naman, we have the XY. And for sa female, XX ang tawag. So reproductive cell naman, ang nilalabas ng lalaki is sperm cell. That's what we call sperm cell. Yung kapag nag-ejaculate, yung lumalabas din is sperm cell. So sa mga babae naman is egg cell. Sa hormones naman, we have sa lalaki, we have testosterone. So, female naman is progesterone. So, dito sa mga statement na to is pinapakita kung ano yung mga gender roles, kung ano yung mga dapat akma sa ating sa gender natin. For example, so sa women, wear dress and skirts while men wear pants or slacks. Hindi naman pwedeng magbaligtad yan. Ang mga lalaki magdedress, ang mga babae ay magbibihis ng parang panglalaki. Hindi naman akma yun. Then, sa babae, hindi naman pwedeng mag-produce ang babae ng sperm cell. Kasi lalaki lang yung kayang mag-produce ng sperm cell. So, sa mga babae naman, pag nagiging dalaga na, nagkakaroon sila ng monthly period. Sa mga lalaki naman, pag nagiging teenager na, nagka-crack na yung voice, mas nagiging mature, mas nagiging deeper, and nagkakaroon ng mga Adam's apples and some hairy parts sa mga private area.
Gender identity, defined by the individual's innermost concept of self as male, female, a blend, or neither, refers to each person's deeply felt internal and individual experience of gender, transgender, cisgender. Sexual orientation refers to each person's capacity for profound emotional and affectional and sexual attraction to, and intimate and sexual relation with.
Okay, so moving on to the next part of the presentation is what are the influences of the family on gender typing? When we say gender typing, it refers to the process by which children learn and adopt behaviors, interests, and roles that are culturally associated with their assigned gender. So maybe this is the time where they learn to discover, or they try to find themselves if what is the appropriate gender for them that is associated with how and who they identify with. So number one here, we have the parental influence on children's gender type choices. Okay, so meron kasi mga pagkakataon na ang mga magulang ay pwedeng sila yung mag-shape sa pag-intindi ng mga bata patungkol sa mga gender roles, okay? Meron yung mga pagkakataon na hindi naiwasan ng mga magulang na sila yung nag-encourage ng mga behavior and interest sa mga anak nila in terms of societal expectations. Na kumbaga, anak, lalaki ka, ganito yung mga kailangan mong gawin. Anak, babae ka, ganito yung mga kailangan mong gawin, okay? So, syempre, the dominance of the parents in the house, of course, influence the decisions na nangyayari sa mga bata. Right? Okay, the next, we have the parental behavior towards girls and boys. So, similarly to the first one, nakaka-influence din yung paano nga ba tratuhin ng mga magulang ang kanilang mga anak regarding kung lalaki sila or babae. Meron kasi mga pagkakataon na unconscious rin nga naman yung mga magulang to how they treat their sons and daughters, and hindi sila aware na dahil dun sa magkaibang treatment nila dahil sa anak nilang babae at lalaki ay nakaka-apekto sa kung ano nga bang desisyon nila in terms of their gender typing. Isa sa mga examples ay, for example, yung anak nilang lalaki, mas in-encourage nila na dahil lalaki ka, para ka sa sports, okay? Para ka sa mga gantong bagay na kung saan kinakailangan mo ng strength. You need your physical strength in doing so and with dealing with your daily lives. Ngayon, in contrast naman sa babae, dapat si babae, okay, ganito ka. Dapat mainhin ka, dapat sa bahay ka lang, dapat hindi ka naglalaro ng sports. Okay? Hindi gawain ng mga babae yon. Okay? So, yun yung mga instances na unconscious minsan yung mga magulang natin. But at the same time, it causes a big impact on the decision that the children are making as they grow up. Then third, we have here the modeling parents' characteristics. Okay? aside from the parents ang nagdidikta sa mga kailangang iakto ng mga anak nila, meron naman yung mga pagkakataon na yung mga anak ay nagiging model nila, yung mga magulang nila. So, nagre-reflect sa characteristic ng bata kung ano yung nakikita niya at na-observe niya sa magulang niya in their everyday life, sa bahay nila. Okay? A child may imitate the behaviors, attitudes, and role of their same gender parent. So, if parents divide household tasks traditionally, okay, children may adopt similar expectations. When we say, for example, si mama, okay, ang gawain ni mama ay housework. So, yung anak na babae, pwedeng maisip niya na, okay, si mama ko ganito lang yung ginagawa. No, not lang. Ganito yung ginagawa niya sa bahay. Siya yung naglilinis, siya yung nagluluto. Okay. So, technically, all the houseworks. So, that could possibly be reflected on the attitude of the anak na babae in terms na napapanood niya sa kanyang nanay. And in contrast rin naman sa lalaki, so since nakikita niya na si tatay ang most of the time nagtatrabaho para sa bahay, for example ay si tatay ang parang source of strength in the family in terms of the work, hindi lang naman sa pagtatrabaho sa labas, kundi sa mga times na kailangan ng tagabuhat ng ganyan, tagaayos ng ganto, okay? So, as a child na lalaki, hindi rin maiwasan na maging model niya rin yung tatay niya, right? For example, may isip niya na ang lakas-lakas ng papa ko, kaya niyang magbuhat ng mga ganto, kaya niyang gawin yung mga mabibigat na gawain. Maybe someday paglaki ko, dapat ganun din yung role na meron ako, okay? Okay, then lastly, the parental absence or unavailability. So, compared sa mga iba kanina na pwedeng present si mother and father, dito, there are instances that may absence ang parent. It could be whether due to work, separation, nahiwalay, or maybe iba pang reason, makakaapekto yon sa gender role development ng mga bata. For example, isang bata ay pinalaki ng isang single mother. Okay? And syempre, pag single mother, makikita naman natin kung gaano ka-hardworking sila, and they can both adapt the masculine and feminine traits because they have to fulfill that role in order to mapalaki nila ng maayos yung anak nila. Ngayon, ang epekto naman ngayon sa bata ay mapapaisip siya like, which gender role should I adapt? Mom can do both. Should I also do that? Right? Okay. Those questions could possibly pop up in a kid's mind, wherein it could lead to a more complicated gender role development. Syempre, magre-reflect sa kanila na, ayun nga, si mama kayang gawin ang mga gawain din na pang papa. So, ako rin ba, pag lalaki ako is, I should be able to adapt both? Or maybe, ano nga ba yung mga kailangan kong gawin na sa ganun ano nga ba yung dapat niyang gawin? Okay, it could create a confusion in terms of the development of the gender role of the kid, right? And of course, ako kung single father din, it could be in contrast din sa situation ng isang babaeng anak, right? So, dito rin papasok yung concept siguro of gender fluidity or maging gender fluid in terms of being able to adapt the both gender, which could be possibly tackled on how will the child adapt on the changes that he is observing or she is observing on the behavior of his or her parents. Okay. So, family influences significantly shape gender identity and expectations through societal and individual factors, also play key roles in gender development. And last part of this PowerPoint presentation are about... Okay, so last part of this PowerPoint presentation or this report is about gender characteristics. Okay, ano nga ba ang nilalaman ng gender characteristics, or what are the thoughts that we have in mind when we say gender characteristics? So number one, they are learned behaviors. Gender characteristics are not biologically fixed. Okay? They are taught and reinforced through social interactions, family, education, and media. In Tagalog, yung mga katangian na to ay kasarian na hindi likas, right? Kundi, maari siyang matutunan sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa ating pamilya, sa ating paaralan, at sa ating lipunan. And one example is that, meron yung mga times naman na sa ating lipunan, ayan, madalas na tinuturuan ng mga lalaki na maging matapang, habang ang mga babae ay hinuhubog na maging maalaga at mainhin. Kaya naman, yung mga bagay na yon na nangyayari sa ating lipunan ay siyang nagre-reflect kung ano nga ba ang kanilang katangian in terms of their gender. Next is that gender characteristics, they change over time. Hindi siya consistent. Why? Gender roles and expectations evolve based on societal changes, technological advancement, and cultural shifts. Tama nga naman. Madami naman talagang pagbabago sa ating lipunan as time passes by, especially in terms of technological advancement and cultural shifts. So, example nito ay, example ay nung unang panahon, 'di ba? Inaasahan ng mga kababaihan ay manatili sa bahay. Right? Housewives lang dapat sila. Pero dahil sa ating progressive society, ngayon, marami na silang pwedeng gawin. Marami silang pwedeng papel sa lipunan in terms of their work and leadership, which is very efficient and evident in today's society. Third is, they differ between cultures. Okay? In terms of cultures, of course, understandable that Philippines is really diverse with cultures. And with that, what is considered masculine or feminine varies across cultures and societies. Nakadepende minsan sa mga kultura kung paano nga ba natin i-define ang konsepto ng isang pagiging lalaki or isang pagiging babae. Halimbawa, sa isang kultura, ang pagsusuot ng palda ay para sa mga babae. Ngunit, ang pagsuot ng pants, right, ito ay para sa mga lalaki. Okay? Then lastly, gender characteristics, they are relational. Relational in terms that gender roles exist in relation to one another. Masculinity and femininity are often defined in contrast to each other. Okay? Ang madalas na naitatakday sa ugnayan nila sa isa't isa yung pagiging lalaki or pagiging babae. Halimbawa ay kung sa isang lipunan, ang mga lalaki ay naasahang maging tagapagtaguyod ng pamilya, well, maaring asahan naman ng mga babae ay magiging tagapag-alaga ng tahanan. Okay, so that encompasses all the topics about gender roles and so on, and that would be all po, and thank you very much.